Yeah, nah, he nice as hell, but you know, I'm at the point of my career, the money right, I'll fight anybody. So
Hard right now and be in the Hall of Fame, he couldn't. You know, like everything that I've accomplished, he's still trying to accomplish. You know,
Do you not think Spence will be in the Hall of Fame?
right now, no, how?
Yeah, he's
And
right, dude. He's right.
How? You know,
You would-
like he fought in one division. You know,
He never unified the belts.
He unified.
The rematch between Crawford and Errol Spence is heating up, and this time it's personal. In their first fight in July 2023, Crawford clearly showed he was the better fighter that night. What was expected to be a close, back-and-forth battle turned into a one-sided performance, leaving fans stunned and Spence struggling. Crawford knocked Spence down 3 times and stopped him in the 9th round, becoming the first undisputed welterweight champion in the 4-belt era. Since then, both fighters have moved up to 154 pounds, but the story isn't finished. Talks of a rematch are gaining momentum, and both fighters are already sending strong signals to each other.
You know,
IBF.
he unified.
Was it?
He had 3. He had the
But he
WBC,
didn't unify all 4.
WBA,
He wasn't
IBF.
undisputed.
Huh?
He
No,
wasn't
no,
undisputed.
he wasn't. No, but what I'm saying is, they already called him a weight bully, right? He beat Kell Brook coming off of a loss, an eye injury. You know, he beat Sean Porter.
In all fairness, he had to go over there to get that.
Errol Spence Jr. is chasing redemption. He's been honest about what went wrong in their first fight and says he's doing everything to make sure it doesn't happen again. In recent interviews, Spence has shared that he's training harder, fixing his mistakes, and is confident he can knock Crawford out in the rematch. He's not just aiming to win, he wants to finish it early. "This time, I'm putting him down," Spence said. "I've been focused on fixing what I did wrong, and I'll show the world what I can really do at my best." Crawford, however, isn't concerned. He even seems entertained by Spence's newfound confidence.
You know what I mean? That's a good win. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm hating on him or, you know,
No, I understand
things
what you're
like
saying.
that, but
Right.
I honestly don't know if he make it to the Hall of Fame with the accolades that he didn't got.
In an interview with sports analyst Stephen A. Smith, Crawford spoke candidly about being in the ring with Spence. He recalled Spence landing a clean punch early, one of his best shots, but said he barely felt it. "I remember him throwing a big overhand left and catching me right on the button," Crawford said. "I thought to myself, this is it. I knew right then it was going to be a long night for him." That moment left an impression on fans. Crawford summed up Spence's power in just 3 words: "This is it." His message is clear: Spence doesn't have the power to hurt him. And if Spence can't hurt him, Crawford feels fully confident he can outbox him again.
You're a guy that always wanted to like fight the best people out there. You know, even if you're on the layup, always want to fight the best guys. We got a guy in Jerron Ennis right now who's killing everybody. You know, Floyd is praising him, Roy Jones, everybody really. Like, would a part of you, and not looking past Terence, but would a part of you be like, yo, this kid is good, I gotta fight this kid?
Spence's record still boasts 22 knockouts in 28 wins. He's stopped top fighters like Kell Brook, Chris Algieri, and Yadenis Ugas. His power was highly respected before facing Crawford, but after their first fight, fans and fighters are beginning to question whether Spence's strength is enough to challenge someone like Bud Crawford.
Turning pro. Expecting him to debut in a different weight class wouldn't make sense.
I'm walking up on my feet. You know, I want to get out the game. I got kids, got a mom and dad, and you know, they want to enjoy me. So
Crawford, meanwhile, had been riding a 10-fight knockout streak before moving up to 154 pounds. He won his debut in the higher weight class by decision, which raised some questions about whether his knockout power would carry over, but he still looked sharp, focused, and in control. He now holds the WBA super welterweight title, while Spence is ranked number 1 by the WBC in the same division. Spence is expected to face Sebastian Fender later this year for the full WBC title, and if he wins, a Crawford-Spence rematch becomes even more likely.
everything got to come to the end, and you know, sadly, this definitely got to come to the end. So I'm definitely gonna get out while I still can, and not either be forced out or I have to keep fighting because I need money.
Add one more belt though.
he probably won't like Jose Benavidez. So what do you think it says?
Well, what is Terence's best victory for you?
Probably Gamboa.
Why do you say that?
Because I can't thank anybody else.
Did you say Postal? Was it say Postal?
Gamboa.
No.
Gamboa.
Recently, was there?
That fight would be huge. 2 champions, 2 belts, and all the pride from their first match at stake. What makes this rematch even more compelling is the contrast in their mindsets. Spence is determined. He feels his first fight was an off night and believes a stronger, sharper version of himself can change everything. He's been quietly training behind the scenes, getting better and smarter, ready to prove that the first fight didn't reveal his true abilities.
Possibility where you would rematch Errol Spence, or is he in a position where he needs to win again before that makes sense for you?
The possibility is there.
Crawford, on the other hand, remains calm and confident. He feels he already proved everything in their first fight, dominating Spence from start to finish. For him, the rematch is just another chance to show that the gap between them is too wide to close. Right now, all signs point to it happening. It's shaping up to be one of the most talked about fights of the year, not just for the titles or the skill on display, but for the tension, the pride, and the stakes. Spence wants revenge, and Crawford wants to remind everyone who's in charge.
For his title, I'm fighting for a title, and there's the possibility. He win this fight, God willing. I win my fight, God willing. And there's your possibility right there.
The war of words between Crawford and Spence has escalated from simple trash talk to personal attacks, and the boxing world is watching closely. Crawford isn't satisfied with just winning anymore. He's going after Spence's legacy. In a recent interview, he delivered a verbal jab sharper than any punch, questioning whether Spence even deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame. Let that sink in.
Went on Pound for Pound podcast and he said that Errol Spence will not be a Hall of Famer. Can you just give me your thoughts on that?
I disagree.
You disagree? Why do you disagree?
I feel as though Errol had a great career. If it wasn't for Bud, he would have been undisputed. So he went and got every belt one by one. I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Question was about Terence Crawford and his comments.
Yeah.
About Errol Spence.
Yeah, about the Hall of Fame comment.
Well, that's. I mean, look, that's his opinion. That's how he feels, and that's.
What do you think?
No, I think the opposite. I think the opposite.
Okay.
I came out and I've said
I don't want
that.
to fall. Yeah.
I came out and I've said that Errol Spence is a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
You know, in my eyes. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter one division, whatever. 6 years he was reigning, right? Never ducked the big smoke. Finally got in the ring with Crawford. Crawford did what he did. However, the build up to get to that fight, everything that he did, all the fighters.
For a fighter like Spence, who once dominated the welterweight division with calm, calculated power, that statement hits hard. This is the same Errol Spence who defeated top names like Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Lamont Peterson, Kell Brook, and Chris Algieri. He unified titles and until that night in Vegas, seemed nearly unstoppable. Yet Crawford, calm and confident as ever, brushed it off. Spence doesn't have a Hall of Fame-worthy resume, Crawford said, igniting a storm of reactions online.
And he beat along the way for 6+ years, and then to come back, have that car accident, and then come back and fight. I think, who was it? Danny Garcia? Who did he fight when he first came back? Was it Garcia he fought?
Yeah.
He fought Danny Garcia. I mean, come on, Ugas. Come on, dog. Yeah, for me, that's Hall of Fame material. However, I'm not the one to pick the Hall of Fame, if you rather go or not. That's not me, but I'm just saying from my standpoint, and not recognizing the game and seeing all the ones that got in, seeing the ones that got into the Hall of Fame, others that got into the Hall of Fame, and I feel they have done less, I say that, hey.
But not everyone agrees with Crawford's claim. Rising star Shakur Stevenson stepped in to defend Spence. Speaking on the top women's boxing show, Stevenson said, "I disagree. I feel Errol had a great career. If it wasn't for Bud, he would have been undisputed. He went out and won every belt one by one. I think he's a Hall of Famer." Stevenson has a point. Before facing Crawford, Spence was the man to beat at 147, taking on real champions rather than collecting belts through vacant titles or hand-picked opponents.
Obviously has been working for him till this day, but I think that Crawford can maybe dissect him slowly but surely, because Crawford's arsenal is much more extensive. You know, he's got
versatility.
Yeah, more versatile. He's got great footwork. He's got the.
Here's where things get tricky. Crawford has been moving differently lately. After defeating Israel Madrimov in his 154-pound debut in August 2024 by decision, not knockout, he set his sights even higher, Canelo Alvarez. That's a huge payday, a legacy-defining fight, and a potential retirement cherry on top of an already stellar career. But is he overlooking Spence? If Crawford is more focused on chasing Canelo than defending his throne, he could enter the rematch underestimating a man who's been quietly sharpening his skills in the shadows. And that's exactly how upsets happen. Alright fam, stay locked in for all the latest boxing news, highlights, events, and stories. Smash that subscribe button on Glovelord and hit notifications so you never miss a beat. Don't sleep on our other vids either. Till next time, stay chill and keep it safe.